help you develop a certain sense of patience, working livestock. So I've always told stories of watching my granddad, have this nice trailer and this nice corral and these nice, really expensive cattle that you don't want to hurt, and then them start to not cooperate, and then him beating the tar out of them to get them to the trailer, and then turn around to all of us after all that show and say, it really does take a lot of patience to raise these animals. But I grew up in Gates County, went to school in Hertford County, bought my first house in Camden County, and now my wife and I farm together in Camden, Pasquotank, Perquimans, and Curry. I'm deeply invested in this district, deeply invested in my family and my business, and I want the best for it moving forward. And that's what led to me running for office. I went to the General Assembly several times for farm issues only, just farm stuff, and that was really my only concern, was how my family was going to turn out, and our future on the farm and the land itself and the heritage that's there. It means the world to me. I didn't get to farm with my father. I want to be able to farm with my son. That is as simple as I can put it, and that is as complicated as I can put it. That is the truth. I got a phone call saying that Senator Haig was going to run for Congress, and got really excited until they suggested that I run for Senate. And I think it'll be a good fit. I quickly formed really good relationships with folks in Raleigh, and I will say that I'm brand new to these events. I'm brand new to really all of this, and I can pretty confidently look around this room and assume, hopefully correctly, that we all essentially want the same things on policy, school choice, balanced budget. We all fear God. We're all very similar. The only difference, especially in a primary, is going to be the candidate. And what I have noticed is the candidate's ability to work with folks in Raleigh or work against folks in Raleigh. Gotten a lot of support from leadership, a lot of endorsements, and then a lot of iffy feedback from constituents because of certain things that the caucus has done or the General Assembly as a whole has done, and I understand that. And I think it's essential for us to be able to disagree as a party, but then come together and move forward and keep conservatives in power, because we know how aggressive Democrats are, and we know how they can work their way into party events or the party itself. And we see it all over the country, and I can go on and on and on, but it's essential that we send someone to Raleigh that can work with these people, but also be a voice for the folks at home, because ultimately they are the ones who send us there to Raleigh. So that's the most important thing, is can we disagree on an issue and still, as a whole, move the conservative movement in the correct direction and keep it going and stay in power and hopefully have a supermajority, so that it doesn't matter what the electorate sends to Raleigh in terms of governor and people. Our conservative voice is louder than all of those. And I think ultimately that's what everybody in this room wants. I know that I do. One issue in particular that has come up due to my endorsements is the trawl ban in the coast. Again, I got into this business to protect my way of life from oversight and legislation that would negatively affect the way we live. We, as in District 1, we, the farmers, the fishermen, the loggers. And I got to thinking, and I laughed. I'm a big Donald Trump fan, and all I'll have to say is the reason that I'm running is to protect our livelihoods and the way we live and our heritage. Farming, fishing, logging. Fishing's a big one because they've been under attack, and I feel it because I've lived it. We're not over-regulated like the fisheries are. We're getting there, and that's my concern. But my favorite president coined the term drill, baby, drill. So I'm going to coin the term trawl, baby, trawl. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for having me tonight.